artists just, at least, if I come up to you and tell you, are you cognizant of the fact that the things you do influence an entire generation, and you say yes, then I guess that's enough for me. I can't force you to do anything positive. You got to be yourself. And you know what I mean? Maybe you didn't have enough of a positive role model to be making that impact. But all I'm saying to you is just don't act like it's not there. Regardless of whether you turn away from it or not, they're looking at you turning away from it.
Okay, coming from a label perspective, like how do you... I mean, does it ever kind of go through, you know, your head or someone's head in a label that, okay, you know what? I don't agree with this, but I know it's going out, and I know it's going out to that little kid that might look at it the wrong way, but, you know, is that moral decision ever really there?
I could tell you for a fact that, you know, me being around the early years in the record industry in this country when labels had just discovered urban music, you know, and there was big debates. You know, there were debates. I remember working at BMG, and there was being big debates on should we release the Mobb Deep album?
Right.
Should we release Ready to Die?
Yeah.
I mean, these were big boardroom arguments.
Yeah,
I mean, I mean, in fact, I mean, I remember when Ready to Die came out. Was of course it was the same time that Craig Mack's album. Was it Project Funk the World, I think?
Yeah.
That's right. And that album came out, and everybody, I know there was a big contingent within BMG at the time where I was working. They were like, well, a lot of people were like, well, this Biggie Smalls guy, he's very offensive. I don't think we should release this stuff into the marketplace, and blah, blah, blah. And the argument was being held with, well, this Craig Mack guy, he's going to be way bigger anyway. And, you know, I was there, I was like, no, you're choosing the wrong guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One guy's cool, but one guy is really good. You know what I mean? So, and it was hard because you had to justify to get a release. I remember the same thing happened at Virgin and Scarface releases and stuff like that. It was back in the day.
And I'm sure NWA
and the early NWA releases. There was a lot of, you know, a lot of internal struggle and strife in whether or not we would release those projects. And,
wow, I had no idea.
Oh, well, yeah, you know what I mean? But the reality of it is there's probably a lot of hardcore metal albums or punk albums that had equally as offensive material out there, but yet they're debating whether or not you should release these rap records.
Right.
And on that, for that fact alone, those records should be released. I mean, yeah, put the parental advisory sticker on it. You know, let people know that there is that sort of content on there. But I personally have worked some records that I don't personally like.
Right.
And I don't feel that good about.
Right.
But you know what? Part of the job sometimes.
Yeah.
And you can't always, it's the gift and the curse of working in the record industry. You can't always pick and choose to work what you like or what you want to do. You know, sometimes you got to do what's there.
You just got to do your job.
You just got to do your job.
Yeah.
And I will say this: these artists have they might have a social and moral responsibility. I mean, I've met Curtis Jackson on a couple occasions, and that guy is so securityed up and so suited up. He's got a vest on. This is a guy who's been shot who doesn't want to get shot again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everybody keep that in mind.
True.
When these kids who are idolizing, 50 Cent. You know what I mean? Watch how he rolls.
Yeah.
He does not want to get shot again.
Right.
Because not many people can get shot that many times and walk away to tell the story.